Sooner Scoop HD.
Golden. He's a guy who had to play some catch-up, missed into spring ball. I mean, just what have you seen out of him in terms of the continuous growth?
Well, he's a guy when he got here that didn't have the role that he wanted to have, and instead of pouting about it and making excuses for whatever, he just kept working. And as a result of that, he earned more opportunities, and he's taken advantage of his opportunities, and that's a really good example for the younger players that how it's supposed to look. And he's made some big plays for us, and he needs to make some more.
Hey, you guys talk a lot about takeaways. He's got 3 interceptions for you guys. I mean, just how much of a boost has he been to have him really emerge on the field like that?
Yeah, it's been a big boost. You know, anytime you can, those takeaways are always big plays. So yeah, it's been a big deal. Yeah.
Eli? You guys have talked about like fruits of the labor all fall, and the through line the other night, Deshaun, David were talking about finally feeling like they'd reached that. What distinguished, like looking at the tape, what distinguished the defensive performance Saturday night from others this year?
Well, I think that we played better. We played very aggressive. We played, and as a result of some early success, I think we gained some confidence, and they enjoyed playing with one another and playing for one another, and it worked out, and I'm really proud of them.
Is there any play specifically, or plays outside of the interceptions, maybe the obvious ones that were part of that early success that stuck out to you?
Yeah, it all goes hand in hand. Disruption, pressure, all those things that contribute. That some people just may see the final result of the end of the play and all the things that happened during the play to help cause that play. So it all goes together, and like I said, they played with a lot of confidence, and I think the confidence level grew as the night went on. And as a result of that, I thought it was a tough-minded, gritty performance.
Yeah, it said specifically about the defensive line. We've seen them be, at least on the stat sheet to the naked eye, be much more involved and disruptive over the last couple of weeks. What have you seen from those guys collectively, and some of the individuals that have allowed them to do that over these last couple of games and be more involved?
Well, I think it's just the evolution of the system, and also the experience level of the players. And if I could say it was one thing, we'd have done it, week 4 or week 1 or week 0. But so that it's not like it's magic dust. It's just a process that you go through, and they've done a good job staying connected, staying bought in. And Coach Chavis and Coach Bates have done a good job with those guys, and just got to stay with it. Like you keep digging, and so many people turn away when things get tough, but our guys didn't. And as a result of that, you saw some good things happen on Saturday night.
Did you feel like, even as y'all were going through some of the struggles, through the first chunk of conference play, that those guys still had a chance to be some of the things that we saw early, and what we've seen the last couple of games?
Yeah. We never, as a coaching staff, we've never lost belief in our players, and our players haven't lost belief in us, and that's part of being a connected team, and we are that. So, yeah, there we are.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, sure.
Eric?
Can you talk about what it's like recruiting this cycle compared to where you were exactly 1 year ago in the month of December leading up to it? How big a difference is it?
It's a lot different. Yeah, a lot different. I think my first 2 weeks on the job, I evaluated like 114 players. And then the whole portal thing for the first time opened up, and that was crazy. And because nobody had ever been through that before, to try and wrap your arms around that, recruit, finish a class, and all the things that go along with that, and navigate the whole portal thing. That was it was a lot, but that's our job. So that's what it is. But as far as where we are with this class as compared to last year, we're at a much different spot. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite story from your recruiting days, any of your stops, just how much fun it was, maybe frustrating, or just do you have anything that really stands out?
I got something here, and I got some stories here, and everything in between. So we don't have enough time for that, though. Yeah. Yeah.
James?
Your linebackers seem to be more productive over the last 2 or 3 weeks. They seem to be fitting in. How do you feel like they've kind of evolved in this offense as well, in this defense, and how do you feel like they're doing?
Well, I think that, in victory masks a lot of imperfections, and sometimes when you lose, you don't see the good things that come out of the growth. And they're both of those elements in victory and defeat. But seen incremental improvement, and our guys have stayed true to the process of the incremental improvement and the work and the commitment that it takes to be able to play at a high level. And we got a long ways to go, but proud of them and proud of the stick-to-itiveness. They haven't wavered, they haven't flinched, they hadn't blinked, and just kept showing up and working. And was happy for them and proud for them that they saw some of the fruits of the labor on Saturday night.
Tech offensively, new coach, new offensive system, but they still score, especially at home. They just seem to be a better team.
Yeah, you're right. I think they're 5-1 at home. They've scored at least 33 points in every home game. So they've got a certain comfort level playing at home, and it's a challenge because they spread it all over the lot and throw it all over the lot, and then they've got a solid running game that creates explosive plays. So, and a multi-quarterback system. So there's a lot of elements to this offense that we've got to prepare for and do a great job. Make sure we're buttoned up and ready to go.
Jesse?
Ted, you talked about the defensive performance from Saturday, but just how important was it to have a performance like that in terms of, building not only for the remainder of the season, but in the future? And is it a performance you can kind of look back on and say, that's something you can point to say, that's what we can do, that's the potential of what we can do if we stick with it? Well,
I hope so, yeah. But at the same time, to accentuate the positives and correct the mistakes. But just the belief and the amount of confidence they played with, and I think we started out really good, and I think that led to some good things, and played complementary football with our offense and our special teams, but it's something that helps. So, but again, that was just another step. We got to take another step this week and focus on getting better and getting prepared to play a Texas Tech team, like I said, that is really good at home. So. But we got a lot of work to do. But our guys, I'm proud of what they've done. But again, there's a lot more to do.
Okay, go second row middle, Ross.
Coach, Deshaun White made 2 pretty huge plays in that fourth quarter. What is he kind of meant in this transition year of first-year staff, and just kind of the calming presence of a senior like him really coming on towards the end?
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. Because sometimes with older players, some guys plateau out, and he's gotten better and better and better, and that's what you want. You want your football team to be playing better in the month of November, and you want your older players to continue to improve, and I'm proud of him, pleased with him.
Eric?
I wanted to ask you, Matt Wells is going to go back and coach at Texas Tech where he was last year. What was it like for you when you went to Duke, when you went to NC State, coaching against players that you used to coach and seeing them on the other sideline? Well,
there's a lot of familiarity, and sometimes what gets lost in this business is relationships with coaches and their players and coaches to coach. And that's a big part of so much of why we do what we do, a huge part of it. So, you go through it, but, you want to win. Yeah, you want to, yeah.
Any more questions? Austin?
You alluded to it a bit earlier, but just going into game prep for a team that has done so much different stuff with 2 quarterbacks, do you go off who played last week? Do you balance, I guess, looking at any of those different variations, or how does that work?
Well, it's a good question. Here's how it works. We look at all of it, and we prepare for all of it, because if you want to make sure you're doing your due diligence and having answers for problems or situations as they unfold. So we look at all of it and have a plan for all of it. Yeah, but good question. Yeah.
back to Ryan Aber?
Yeah, Ted, we saw Justin come back after his injury the week before the Royals. And what was your assessment of how he played on Saturday, and just how important was it to get him back for the versatility and everything else that he brings?
Yeah, he's obviously very experienced. Does a great job communicating in the back end, and so it was good to have him. And thought he played solid, and because he didn't practice a whole lot last week, but thought he played solid, and look for him to be healthy this week and do it again. Yeah.
Sooner Scoop HD.